Look what they're taking away. Barack is fuming over this. The measure of Obama's paycheck is disappointing to numerous Americans who don't see how Obama can round up talking expenses while accepting a citizen-supported benefits also. Ordinary Americans don't get Social Security on the off chance that they are working. Shouldn't a similar lead apply to government representatives? Obama unquestionably doesn't think thus, and vetoed a bill a year ago that would have put a cutoff on the measure of cash previous presidents are permitted to procure on the off chance that they need to continue accepting their full benefits. Shockingly for Obama, his veto may now be useless. From Angry Patriot, recently, Obama has been negotiating with Wall Street in return for large sums of money. As a response, the Congress will introduce a bill that will curb presidents' pension if they take over $400,000 of outside money. On the off chance that this bill can get past Congress, President Trump is probably going to sign it. It would be an immense stride in the battle to prevent government officials from exchanging their impact for cash. President Trump doesn't need to stress over this bill influencing him later on in light of the fact that he is rich all alone. It's an expensive piece of why he won the race. Obama then again has no issue tolerating Cantor Fitzgerald's fix. All he's been used for since turning into an ex-president is unwinding at different areas around the world. The infrequent discourse cash enables him to keep up his extravagant way of life. On the off chance that Obama needs to emulate Hillary's example and work the speaker's market, at that point his citizen-supported Secret Service insurance, compensation, and individual costs ought to be cut. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. T. Angry Patriot Move. Another leaker down. Nobody can believe who the Army just caught. Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis must be breathing a sigh of relief tonight. The Army, together with the FBI, has stopped a very potentially dangerous situation involving a U.S. soldier allegedly involved with ISIS. Sergeant First Class I.K. Cocaine, who has served in the Army since 2001, was arrested Saturday night by an FBI SWAT team at Schofield Barracks in Honolulu. He has been under investigation for about a year, over multiple incidents of concern that he had become radicalized. He served in both Iraq and Afghanistan, and his father, Clifford King, said that his son began studying Islam while there. The FBI arrested him for allegedly trying to give classified documents and a drone to undercover agents who he believed to be members of ISIS. It is frightening to think that a threat such as this could be within our military. Our country, including our president, is committed to obliterating the threat of ISIS from the face of the earth. It's sad to think that the threat could be found right within our own military. Most of our military men and women, however, are doing their best and sacrificing so much to keep our country safe and free. It's good to know that people are paying attention and caught this threat before he was able to do any damage. If you support our military and want the men and women who serve to be able to do their jobs without this sort of threat, please share this with all your friends. H/T Fox. Chaffetz Congress should go after Obama's pension. Representative Jason Chaffetz, R. Utah, suggested on Wednesday that former President Barack Obama's planned $400,000 speech to a Wall Street firm is the driving force behind a coming measure to cap presidential pensions. Chaffetz is poised to reintroduce a bill later this month that would seek to limit the pensions of ex-presidents to $200,000, with an additional $200,000 in expenses, USA Today reported Wednesday. That pension would be reduced if a president's outside income exceeds $400,000. Tweeting the USA Today link in its headline, Obama's $400,000 speech could prompt Congress to go after his pension, Chaffetz added, "Yes, it will." The Utah Republicans sponsored the same measure last year. Obama vetoed that bill, and congressional leaders never attempted to override the veto. Senator Joni Ernst, R. Iowa, introduced the companion bill in the Senate. She is also set to reintroduce the measure, according to USA Today. Obama has drawn fierce criticism in recent weeks over reports that he will speak at investment firm Cantor Fitzgerald's healthcare conference in September. That speaking engagement comes with a $400,000 paycheck for the former president. After taking office in 2009, Obama set out to aggressively regulate Wall Street. The speaking engagement has led some critics to label the former president a hypocrite for being willing to take money from the financial industry that he once claimed to fight. But Eric Schultz, a spokesman for Obama, said the Wall Street payment would not influence Obama and noted that as president, he pushed through with financial reforms despite having raised money from Wall Street during his campaign. Chaffetz, the chairman of the powerful House Oversight Committee, often sought to present himself as a watchdog of the executive branch during Obama's 2 terms in office. He announced last month that he would not seek re-election to Congress next year. Jerry Brown is furious. See what judge just took away from California. We've gotten so used to liberal judges hindering the executive order of Donald Trump and also conservative legislation, that we're stunned when one standard predictable with our Constitution. There are conservative judges out there who adore the first purpose of the creators of our Constitution and its Bill of Rights. What's more, with President Trump in the White House, there are probably going to be significantly later on as he makes legal arrangements amid his residency. California may be overpowering be a liberal state, yet elected judges are not named by the states, and are not liable to state governments. They are a piece of the government courts, so when they make a decision that the state's leaders don't care for, there's nothing they can do other than making their voices listened, or, contingent upon the conditions, take an interest in an interest of the choice. Steady with its liberal predisposition, the territory of California is firmly restricted to Second Amendment rights. Subsequently, the administrators effectively seek after enactment to encroach on those rights as ensured by the Constitution. In any case, a government judge just issued an order keeping the implementation of a California law that would encroach on the privilege of the natives to keep and remain battle-ready. A federal judge granted a preliminary injunction Thursday preventing California from enforcing its gun magazine confiscation law. U.S. District Judge Roger T. Benitez said that the law, which prohibits possession of a magazine with a capacity exceeding 10 rounds of ammunition, is likely to violate the Second Amendment rights of the plaintiffs in the suit. As a result, he ordered the state to immediately cease enforcing the law, pending further legal developments. The court does not lightly enforce a state statute, even on a preliminary basis, Benitez said in the ruling. However, just as the court is mindful that a majority of California voters approved Proposition 63 and that the government has a legitimate interest in protecting the public from gun violence, it is equally mindful that the Constitution is a shield against tyranny of a majority. That announcement by the court should be put on boards around this nation. A larger part of California residents is not engaged to abbreviate the opportunities of different Californians that are ensured to them by our U.S. Constitution. The federal judge continued, if this injunction does not issue, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of otherwise law-abiding citizens will have an untenable choice, become an outlaw or dispossess one's own lawfully acquired property, he wrote in the ruling. That's a choice they should not have to make. Not on this record. Not surprisingly, California's Attorney General is not happy. Proposition 63 was overwhelmingly approved by voters to increase public safety and enhance security in a sensible and constitutional way, Becerra said in a statement on the ruling. I will defend the will of the California voters because we cannot continue to lose the innocent lives due to gun violence. There's a great deal that could be said in regards to the Lawyer General's announcement, however one call attention to if he is so worried about losing honest lives in California, maybe as opposed to condensing the privileges of the subjects to safeguard themselves, he should execute a forceful program of coordinating with government immigration and customs enforcement authorities to free the condition of illicit settlers. All things considered, he did say he was worried in regards to the welfare of blameless Californians, isn't that right? What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. The Daily Breaking: Putin goes public, issues shocking statement about Trump. The lying mainstream media have become the greatest threat to our country. Trump on television very much differs from the man in reality, explained Russian President Vladimir Putin, after his first face-to-face meeting with President Trump, via Twitter. He is very concrete, he fully perceives his interlocutor, and he analyzes and answers questions or new elements that come in the course of the discussion quickly enough, added the Russian president. President Trump and Putin had a 30-minute meeting scheduled, but the two leaders ended up talking for over 2 hours. The meeting was an incredible success and resulted in an agreement to establish a ceasefire in southwest Syria, allowing both countries to focus on the fight against ISIS. Vladimir Putin says that the meeting yielded positive results. However, the entire encounter was clouded by the false accusations lobbied by Democrats and the mainstream media. President Trump has been accused of colluding with the Russian government in an attempt to rig the 2016 election. Despite lacking any evidence, the mainstream media has dedicated months to exposing the conspiracy theory. The Russian collusion theory was constructed by Democrat strategists in the wake of Hillary Clinton's stunning electoral defeat. The narrative was designed to undermine President Trump's victory while exonerating Clinton's failures as a candidate. Instead of soul-searching and attempting to understand where they went wrong in the election, the Democrats and their cronies in the mainstream media have been on the offensive against President Trump. However, this political theater is starting to have negative impacts on American security. It is imperative that President Trump improves relations with Russia. Russia is a massive nuclear power, and it serves no good to continue feuding with our historic enemy. Russia has fallen far since the end of the Soviet Union, but that doesn't mean we should antagonize Putin to promote the Democrats' talking points. By pushing these inane conspiracy theories, liberals are undermining President Trump's ability to stave off a nuclear war. Democrat House Minority Leader and busybody, Chuck Schumer, decried the meeting as an embarrassment to our country and our ideals, further fanning the flames of nuclear war. The Democrats would rather launch a Cold War 2.0 than admit that they could not win a fair election. This Russian narrative has gone too far and has started threatening the safety of Americans. What do you think about this? Comment below. Credit, Angry Patriot.